You are drunk.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
No, sir.
I was afraid he was going to die. I thought I was going to live forever, you know, and we both had problems with...
Country music has seen its fair share of unforgettable stars, but not all of them came without a dark side. Behind the fame and glory, some of these iconic figures spiraled into addiction and chaos. From unexpected behaviors to heart-wrenching struggles, join us as we uncover the 15 worst junkies in country history and the wild stories that left everyone speechless. Number 15, Randy Travis.
Very lonely, dark place. It's just a miserable existence. You know, and to meet a guy like Randy, whenever I was in there.
Randy Travis was considered a shining star in the world of country music at one point. His resonant vocals and emotive songs made him easily recognizable in the 1980s, leading to tremendous album sales and multiple accolades. Yet, unbeknownst to many, Travis struggled with inner struggles that would eventually lead to his downfall. His battles with alcohol did not develop suddenly. With increasing fame came increasing stress. The music business is cutthroat, causing many musicians to rely on drinking as a form of solace. Travis began to lose control when his relationship with longtime manager, Elizabeth Hatcher Travis, fell apart in 2010. The divorce had a profound impact on him, leading him to turn to alcohol more often without the support of his wife. His fans were shocked by a string of legal problems that came after. The incident that stood out the most occurred in 2012 in Texas, where he was taken into custody for driving under the influence. Law enforcement discovered him intoxicated and confused, lying nude on the street. The event was widely covered in the media, damaging his previously unblemished image. He had been known as a wholesome country singer for a long time, but now he was grabbing attention for all the negative things happening in his life. His drinking issue had a negative impact on his professional life as well. He missed out on chances for advancement, and his well-being started to deteriorate. Then, in 2013, a devastating event occurred when he experienced a severe stroke that almost ended his life. Medical professionals were unsure if he would make it through, let alone be able to perform music again. Nevertheless, Travis resisted. Even though he never completely recovered his ability to speak, he has subsequently shown up, motivating supporters with his perseverance. Number 14, Travis Tritt. Travis Tritt made waves in the world of country music with his dynamic live shows and rebellious persona. His popular songs such as Here's a Quarter, Call Someone Who Cares, and Trouble helped establish his presence in the music scene. Despite his undeniable talent, his battles with addiction posed challenges that impacted his professional trajectory and public perception. Tritt's descent into addiction did not happen overnight. During the 1990s, his rise to stardom exposed him to a lifestyle filled with excitement and speed. The music business frequently portrays partying as glamorous, and Tritt, like numerous other artists, faced constant temptation. Struggling to uphold his public persona and coping with the fatigue of non-stop touring, he turned to alcohol and illegal substances for solace. Initially, it was merely a means to relax, but gradually it developed into a routine that disrupted his daily routine. His habit deteriorated, causing a decline in his performances. Observers could detect a lack of sharpness during his stage appearances, occasional slurring of words, and a decrease in his usual vigor. In the background, professionals in the industry began to question his dependability. Speculations emerged, leading to missed chances. While he never experienced the same level of public meltdowns as some of his colleagues, his difficulties were apparent. The toll on his personal life was equally devastating. Illegal substance use put a strain on his relationships with both coworkers and family members. He received negative feedback, and even though he was able to continue his career, he had to put in more effort to earn respect in his field. Luckily, Tritt was able to change the course of his life. By moving away from the negative influences that had hindered him before, he dedicated himself to his music and self-improvement. Number 13, Tammy Wynette. Tammy Wynette was a renowned figure in the world of country music. Famous for her heartfelt music and strong vocals, she won over many fans with popular songs like Stand By Your Man, but there was a hidden side to her success. Despite the common narrative of celebrities turning to substance misuse because of the pressures of fame and excess, Wynette's experience was unique. Her dependence on painkillers started out of necessity for medical reasons, but soon morphed into a perilous journey. Her health issues began at the beginning of her professional journey. She experienced persistent pain and had to undergo numerous surgical procedures. Medical professionals recommended painkillers to assist her in managing the discomfort, which initially appeared to be effective. Nevertheless, as days passed, she developed a reliance on the medication, using it not only to alleviate pain, but also to sustain her performance energy. Going on tour was incredibly challenging, and the music industry's requirements left her with little opportunity for relaxation. Taking the pills became her method of getting through the fatigue. As her dependence grew stronger, her loved ones became concerned. Occasionally, her previously robust voice sounded tired, and her physical condition noticeably worsened. Observers took note when she seemed fragile or unsteady on stage. Gossip circulated, and although her skill was unquestionable, her image began to be tarnished. Privately, her personal affairs were chaotic. She went through several marriages, including a tumultuous union with George Jones, who also battled his issues with alcohol. Wynette's addiction to pain medication had a significant impact on her health. When she died in 1998, her body bore the effects of long-term harm. Number 12. Hank Williams Jr. Hank Williams Jr. was born into a high-profile family in the country music industry. Being the offspring of the renowned Hank Williams Sr. brought immense pressure. Despite possessing his father's musical abilities, he faced similar personal struggles. Substance misuse became a prominent issue in his life, impacting his well-being, professional life, and public image. His difficulties did not start right away. At a young age, Hank Jr. attempted to imitate his father's musical style, but found the expectations too high. As he matured, he sought to establish his unique presence in the country music scene.
People who may not know what you're talking about, when your dad died, who was a legendary musician, and people loved him so that you were just called upon to kind of fill in, right?
Yeah.
This quest for individuality led him to embrace a rebellious persona, joining the ranks of other country music rebels. Along with this new image came excessive drinking and illegal substance misuse. In 1975, a tragic event occurred that changed Hank Jr.'s life. While he was climbing Ajax Peak in Montana, he had a serious accident and fell 500 feet down the mountain. This fall caused severe injuries to his head and face, leading to the need for multiple reconstructive surgeries. The intense physical pain he experienced was so severe that he had to rely on painkillers to cope. As time passed, what initially began as a medical requirement for pain relief eventually developed into a harmful dependency. His erratic behavior stemmed from his use of substances. He began to drink excessively, and his struggles with illegal substances garnered attention in the media. Despite his rebellious persona attracting fans, it also drove him towards a path of self-sabotage. His professional journey had its share of challenges, with some doubting his dependability in the field. In addition, his personal life was affected by failed relationships and difficulties in finding balance. Hank Jr. faced difficulties, but he persevered to overcome them. Number 11. Glen Campbell. Glen Campbell, a legendary figure in country music, was renowned for his velvety vocals and enduring classics such as Rhinestone Cowboy and Wichita Lineman. Despite achieving widespread fame, he grappled with demons that threatened to undo all his accomplishments. His addiction to alcohol and illegal substances ushered in a period of turmoil marked by personal setbacks, legal woes, and a downturn in his previously flourishing career. Campbell's issues developed gradually over time. During his heyday in the 1970s, he was always in the public eye, traveling, making music, and making television appearances. The stress of maintaining his hectic schedule was unbearable. Like numerous other artists, he sought solace in alcohol and illegal substances to cope with the fatigue and pressure. Illegal substance ended up being his preferred substance, providing him with the boost he needed to persevere, albeit with consequences. As his dependence grew stronger, it started to impact both his music and personal affairs. His live performances started to lack consistency, and his actions became more erratic. He frequently arrived late for shows and occasionally couldn't perform at all. People in the music industry and his fans began to notice the shift, leading to a decline in his reputation. Simultaneously, his connections with others began to fall apart. The tumultuous relationship he had with singer Tanya Tucker, which was widely reported on, was marred by substance misuse issues. Legal issues came shortly after. He was taken into custody in the early 2000s for driving under the influence and attacking someone, which made his reputation even worse. It looked as though the iconic figure was crumbling. Despite this, Campbell refused to be labeled by his addiction. He eventually reached out for assistance and was able to give up alcohol. regaining control of his life and work. Even though he later battled Alzheimer's disease, he is remembered for his strength in overcoming challenges, a person who confronted his inner struggles and made a lasting impression on the world of country music. Number 10. Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson, a prominent figure in the world of country music, is celebrated for his unique voice, rebellious spirit, and enduring career. His reputation as a symbol of independence and strength has been established over the years. Although often associated with cannabis, Nelson's experiences with substance misuse and legal issues have had a profound impact on various aspects of his life, beyond just his music. Early on, Nelson's relationship with illegal substances became a defining characteristic of his identity as both a musician and an advocate. Unlike many artists who struggled with addiction to harder substances, Nelson openly endorsed the use of illegal substances, highlighting its positive qualities. However, his advocacy led to multiple encounters with law enforcement. Despite his nonchalant attitude towards the illegal substance, Nelson found himself in trouble with the law on several occasions. Although these incidents made headlines, they only served to reinforce his reputation as a defiant figure. While his involvement with illegal substances brought legal challenges, it was his financial difficulties that came close to destroying him. In the 1990s, Nelson faced a serious financial crisis due to a battle with the IRS. Mismanagement and unpaid taxes left him owing millions of dollars, leading to the seizure of his assets, including his cherished ranch. For many musicians, this setback would have spelled the end of their careers. However, Nelson, true to his nature, fought back against this adversity. He even released an album specifically to raise funds for his debts, and through the support of his fans and peers, he was able to overcome this setback. Despite his personal struggles, Nelson's legacy as a musician remained strong. His charisma, talent, and authenticity continued to captivate audiences and maintain their loyalty. Number 9. Billy Joe Shaver. Billy Joe Shaver epitomized the rebellious spirit of outlaw country music. His unrefined lyrics and gritty vocals played a pivotal role in defining the outlaw genre in country music. Despite projecting a tough exterior, he grappled with substance misuse issues for many years. The tumultuous combination of addiction, legal entanglements, and personal struggles made his life story a chaotic and erratic odyssey. Shaver's difficulties began at a young age due to the challenging environment he grew up in. Despite turning to music as a coping mechanism, he also turned to alcohol and illegal substances for comfort. As he gained success in the music industry during the 1970s, his addiction worsened. The outlaw country music scene was known for its wild lifestyle, and Shaver embraced it wholeheartedly. The fast-paced lifestyle filled with parties and the demands of fame only served to increase his reliance on substances. His dependency had a negative impact on both his professional life and personal connections. Occasionally, he was undependable, either skipping performances or showing up looking disheveled. Not only did his marriages fall apart, but he constantly struggled to maintain focus in his personal life. However, his most significant obstacle occurred in 2007, when he was taken into custody for firing a man outside a bar in Texas. Despite stating it was in self-defense, his legal case garnered widespread media attention, compounding his already numerous issues. Despite facing various challenges, Shaver maintained his status as a revered icon in the world of country music. Over time, he discovered methods to manage his struggles with addiction and pursued his passion for music deep into his later years. Number 8. Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard's journey through life was filled with struggle, defiance, and eventual salvation. Prior to gaining fame as a prominent figure in country music, he grappled with issues like criminal activity, substance misuse, and alcoholism. Despite facing numerous challenges early on, he was able to transform his life and establish a lasting impact on the world of country music. Raised in California during the Great Depression, Haggard encountered challenges from a young age. His father's passing had a profound impact on him, and during his adolescence, he found himself in frequent trouble. Engaging in theft, brawls, and alcohol consumption became routine for him. He fled his home on several occasions, relying on hitchhiking and train hopping. Eventually, his risky behavior landed him in a criminal lifestyle. What began as minor thefts escalated into more serious transgressions, leading to his incarceration at San Quentin State Prison at the age of 20 after a failed diner robbery attempt. Imprisonment served as a turning point for Haggard. Witnessing Johnny Cash's performance while incarcerated ignited a newfound motivation for transformation. He shifted his attention towards music, composing songs that narrated tales of hardship and salvation. Upon regaining freedom, he committed himself wholeheartedly to his artistic pursuits. Despite achieving recognition and acclaim, his inner struggles persisted. The demands of fame drove him to excessive alcohol consumption and substance misuse, jeopardizing all he had worked for. Haggard struggled with addiction for a long time before finally overcoming it. Once he found stability, he turned his attention to his music and personal relationships. Rather than letting his past define him, he used it as inspiration for his songwriting, creating music that was authentic and relatable. Number 7. George Jones.
So I just didn't care no more, so I went to the other stuff. I went to the drugs. And
George Jones, renowned for his exceptional vocal prowess in the country music industry, faced a challenging struggle with alcohol that threatened to diminish his musical abilities. His excessive drinking led to the unfortunate moniker of No-Show Jones. Due to his frequent absence from scheduled performances, Jones's erratic actions, fueled by his addiction, posed a significant threat to both his professional success and personal relationships. Jones did not begin his career as an impulsive celebrity. In the beginning, he was a dedicated artist with a talent for conveying stories through music. However, as he became more popular, he found himself facing the demands of the entertainment industry. The extensive working hours, frequent traveling, and high expectations led him towards alcohol consumption. Initially, drinking appeared to be a form of relaxation, a method for relieving stress. Nevertheless, it soon transformed into an addiction that he struggled to manage. His dependence on a substance resulted in unpredictable and strange incidents. One notable tale involving Jones occurred when his spouse, fed up with his alcohol consumption, concealed his vehicle keys. Despite this obstacle, he was resolute in his quest for more liquor, resorting to driving a lawnmower for several miles to the nearest liquor store. This incident became iconic in the realm of country music, highlighting the extent of his addiction. He experienced a significant decline in his reputation. Supporters were always uncertain of his attendance at shows, and event organizers were reluctant to schedule him. His marriages also deteriorated due to the disruption caused by alcohol. Nevertheless, his singing ability remained unparalleled, and even during his darkest times, his songs resonated with a vast audience. After a while, Jones managed to rediscover his path. Through encouragement and unwavering resolve, he achieved sobriety and revitalized his professional life. When he passed away, he was not only recognized for his challenges, but also for his significant impact on the country music genre. Number 6. Steve Earle. Steve Earle, a highly talented songwriter in the country music genre, was admired for his candid storytelling and defiance. However, hidden beneath his achievements was a fierce struggle with illegal substances that almost derailed his professional life. His substance misuse led him down a dark path, resulting in run-ins with the law, fractured personal connections, and extended absences from the music industry. Earle faced challenges from the very beginning of his professional life. During the 1980s, he was a prominent figure with talent, popularity, and bright prospects ahead. However, as he gained success, he fell into the traps of the wild rock and roll lifestyle. His occasional illegal substance experimentation soon transformed into a harmful addiction. He found himself heavily relying on illegal substances, eventually losing command over his life. His professional life started to decline. His acting became unpredictable, and his standing in the industry was tarnished. Supporters and colleagues noticed a decline in his abilities as substance misuse took over. He started to skip important work appointments, his financial situation deteriorated, and his personal relationships crumbled. His substance misuse problem eventually led to run-ins with the law. During the 90s, he had multiple arrests and even served time in prison, a period that made him come face to face with the harm he had caused to himself. However, Earle was determined not to be controlled by his addiction. Despite going to rehab several times, he managed to make a remarkable recovery. He turned his life around and came back to his music with renewed strength. The challenges he faced were evident in his later songs, adding even more depth and honesty to his music. His transformation from being in the grips of addiction to finding redemption became a source of inspiration, showing that even artists who are at their lowest can make a comeback. Number 5. Allan Coe. Allan Coe was known as a country music icon with a reputation for being unpredictable and rebellious. Despite his legendary status, his battle with addiction posed a constant threat to his success and fame. His erratic actions, which were often fueled by illegal substances and alcohol, resulted in numerous run-ins with the law, setbacks in his career, and overshadowed his undeniable talent. Coe faced challenges early on in life, even before achieving fame. Coming from a troubled background, he had a penchant for trouble and frequently found himself in trouble with the law. His rebellious nature led him to embrace a lifestyle outside the norms of society. And when he rose to prominence in the country music scene, he was exposed to the allure of illegal substances and alcohol. As his addiction spiraled out of control, his behavior became erratic and he became a challenging collaborator. His addiction became more severe, causing increasingly severe outcomes to occur. He found himself in trouble with the law multiple times, with his actions often attracting negative attention in the media. His substance misuse resulted in poor choices, strained relationships, and hindered his potential for greater success in his career. Despite his undeniable talent, his reputation as a liability in the industry made it challenging for him to sustain lasting achievements. Even in the midst of disorder, Coe continued to have a significant impact on the country music scene. His songs were a reflection of his unconventional way of life, which attracted a loyal fan base. Despite his ongoing battles with substance misuse, he was able to establish a lasting legacy of rebellious country music that has left a mark on present-day artists. Number 4. Waylon Jennings. Waylon Jennings was known as the pioneer of outlaw country, a nonconformist who rejected the norms of the Nashville music industry. With his rugged voice and rough, unrefined sound, he rose to become one of the most iconic country musicians in history. Despite his success, Jennings struggled with a debilitating addiction to illegal substances that threatened to ruin his life. During the peak of his popularity, he was squandering thousands of dollars daily on the illegal substance, caught in a destructive pattern that appeared insurmountable. In the 1970s, he faced challenges after rising to fame as a major country music artist. While achieving success was exciting, it also brought on significant stress to maintain a busy schedule of tours, recordings, and shows. He turned to illegal substances as a way to cope with the demanding lifestyle, but unfortunately this led to a serious addiction. The illegal substance fueled his ability to keep going non-stop, causing detrimental impacts on his well-being and judgment. His addiction progressed, resulting in severe repercussions. He squandered significant sums of money due to his substance misuse and impulsive expenditures. The erratic behavior stemming from his addiction strained his connections with others and caused legal issues. The year 1977 marked a turning point when he was apprehended for illegal substance possession, prompting him to reassess his existence. Despite facing difficulties, Jennings was determined not to be defined by his dependence on illegal substances. Ultimately, he made the tough choice to stop using, knowing that the journey to recovery would be arduous and lengthy. Jennings' triumph over addiction became a central aspect of his narrative. He persisted in creating music, motivating artists from various backgrounds. His struggle with illegal substances threatened to ruin everything, yet his determination and toughness showed that even the most rebellious individuals could bounce back. Number 3. Keith Whitley. Keith Whitley, a shining star in the world of country music, possessed a unique voice that resonated with audiences on a soulful level. His hit song "Don't Close Your Eyes" quickly became a beloved classic. However, his journey to stardom was overshadowed by a heartbreaking battle with alcohol addiction, which tragically led to his untimely death at the age of 34. Whitley's struggle with alcohol started at a young age. Raised in Kentucky, he was immersed in a music-filled environment where drinking was prevalent. As he gained success in the country music scene, his alcohol consumption escalated. The stress of fame and personal challenges led him to rely on alcohol as a means of escape. Initially, he was able to juggle his addiction with his music career, maintaining a strong following of fans. However, as his dependency grew stronger, concealing it became more difficult. His alcohol consumption had obvious consequences. Frequently, he arrived late for shows, occasionally too inebriated to perform. His erratic actions caused concern for others, yet persuading him to quit was futile. Despite being married to fellow country artist Lori Morgan, who made earnest efforts to assist him, his drinking habits continued to deteriorate. Whitley's drinking problem had a negative impact not just on his professional life, but also on his physical well-being. His health was deteriorating due to long-term alcohol misuse. Unfortunately, on May 9, 1989, a tragic incident occurred. Following a night of heavy drinking, he was discovered unconscious in his residence. The medical examiner determined that his death was the result of alcohol overdose. The country music community was devastated by his unexpected passing. People were grieving the departure of an individual with immense potential. Despite his enduring impact with his music, there remains speculation about what could have been. Keith Whitley's untimely death serves as a cautionary tale about the destructive power of addiction. Number 2. Hank Williams Sr. Hank Williams Sr. was a significant figure in the world of country music, greatly impacting the genre with his authentic songs and memorable vocals. Despite leaving a lasting legacy in the music industry, his battle with addiction ultimately led to his premature death at the young age of 29. William experienced challenges with addiction at the beginning of his career. Despite quickly becoming famous in the late 1940s and early 1950s, the stress of celebrity status had a negative impact on him. Dealing with ongoing physical and emotional pain, Williams sought solace in alcohol and morphine. Although initially providing relief, these substances soon became the center of his addiction. His life became more chaotic as his dependency worsened. Williams started to become less dependable, frequently arriving late to concerts or not showing up at all. His actions became unpredictable, causing worry among his fans and peers. However, despite his inner struggles, Williams managed to create timeless country hits like "Your Cheatin' Heart" and "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry." His addiction had ripple effects on his professional life as well as his physical well-being. He suffered physical decline due to ongoing substance misuse, and his mental health suffered as a result. Tragically, Williams passed away on January 1, 1953 in the back of a car en route to a performance. It was later revealed that his death was caused by heart failure, a result of his long-standing addiction problem. The tragic demise of Hank Williams Sr. signified the conclusion of a legendary figure in country music. Although his life was short, his musical talent and impact have endured through the years, inspiring numerous artists. Number 1. Johnny Paycheck. Johnny Paycheck will always be remembered for embodying the rebellious essence of country music. His songs "Take This Job and Shove It" served as a representation of resistance and discontent, mirroring the challenges faced by the ordinary American worker. Despite his reputation as an outlaw, Paycheck was struggling with severe addiction problems. His issues with illegal substances and alcohol greatly influenced his personal and professional life, ultimately steering him towards a risky and harmful trajectory. Paycheck's struggles with substance misuse started during the first stages of his professional life. The more popular he became, the more allure the lifestyle held. The stress of constantly touring, recording, and upholding his public image drove him towards using illegal substances and alcohol as a means of dealing with the pressure. Specifically, illegal substances became his chosen route of escape, aiding him in keeping up with the hectic routine while simultaneously leading him down a path of addiction. His illegal substance addiction had serious consequences, not only in his social life, but also in his professional career. Paycheck's work began to suffer as his behavior became unpredictable both on and off the stage. People began to see a decline in his health and reliability, including the media and his supporters. However, it was an incident in a bar in 1985 that pushed his issues to a breaking point. Following a confrontation, Paycheck injured a man by firing him, resulting in him being imprisoned. Time spent in jail made Paycheck realize the gravity of his mistakes and pushed him to confront the aftermath of his behavior. He took the opportunity to contemplate his life and eventually reached out for assistance with his struggles. Despite his efforts to turn things around, the harm to his professional and personal reputation had already been done. Paycheck's experiences and musical contributions continued to impact others, but his experiences also serve as a warning about the harmful effects of addiction and the risks of living recklessly. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.